What's up, everybody? Matt from Laythrom here, and basically what I'm going to do today is I'm going to tackle a question that I've gotten. And the easiest way to break down this question is very simple, short. I was asked what I use for creating trees, 3D models of trees. Do I do it by hand, or do I use some other software? Do I buy them off of like Turbo Squid and so on and so forth when it comes to using it for whether it be a video game entity or asset, whether it's used for CGI or like a visual effect, so on and so forth? Well, very short and simple answer. I actually use a couple different things. In 3ds, I actually went into, and I'll throw these links in the description below. I apologize if I'm butchering the name, but I think it's called Laubwerk. But basically, you can go in and buy all this stuff. Granted, yes, you have to purchase it, but it works whenever you're getting into a lot of foliage, trees, things of that nature. Everything and anything, look into their website, see what they have, because this actually saves a lot of time. For example, I'll just open this one right here. Now, let's see. Do render geometry on this bad boy. Now you could see, crap, I'm used to using Maya. There we go. You can see it actually has a lot of decent detail, and all I did was import it in. They also have different variants, different entities of each tree that you can kind of fine tweak this a little bit more than we'd be stuck with if you just downloaded it off of like Turbo Squid or some other website out there. You have your selections like summer, spring, fall, winter, your different variants for each tree, whether it's young or fully grown. You can also fine-tune some of the information below this as well. Yeah, as soon as this loads, it's running a little bit slower since I'm recording video, but whenever this loads up, I'll be able to show you a little bit more here. But like I said, you could bring in the different variants. You can mess with your level of details. It's still generating leaves, which is kind of annoying. Something's going on here in the background, aside from me just recording video. But at the same time, we are looking at a lot of different faces either way. I mean, what are we looking at? 18 million faces involved with just this tree. It can get quite overwhelming quite quick. But the other thing that I also use is SpeedTree, which is a little bit, I don't want to say lower quality, but it's a little fine-tune and modify, make it more custom, things of that nature. Now, I'm not going to sit down and do any tutorials on this. This is I'm just going to do a review of what you see here. Or I'll kind of a walkthrough, or however you want to call it. Not really a review. But as you can see, it is dynamic, which is one of the great things about SpeedTree. It's not still, it's not static, it is dynamic. You can apply a wind to it, and it'll react, excuse me. This is actually what I use a lot for trees that are kind of far in the background, that has some dynamics like played into it, where I can just modify and tweak this a little here and there, make it look more realistic. I do not do a whole lot of up close and personal with SpeedTree, mainly because I don't feel that it has that realism that I want. as far as an asset would go for visual effects or basically a CGI replacement. But you can basically just fine-tune this and tweak it to your heart's content. You can make outrageous trees. You can tweak all the different leaves and the branches, things of that nature. So this is actually something that personally I would probably use in more of a video game development, not so much a CGI or a visual effect deal. Speaking of which, if you actually have come across the UDK or Unreal's game engine, the developer kit, go through the folders. They actually give you a copy of SpeedTree to use. I'm not quite sure the functionality, but they give you a copy of SpeedTree. I haven't really looked into it, mainly because I have the Cinema Edition of version 6. But if you get a hold of UDK and you go through and you use that copy of SpeedTree, if you can, that is, it's better than nothing. Either way, both methods that I use cost money. It makes my life a little bit easier, especially when I'm under a time crunch and I'm working by myself. Either way, look into them. If you need trees, I think the lab work or lob work or whatever it's called also does other kind of foliage as well. There are different places on the internet where you can get smaller like brush and bushes, grass, ivy, things of that nature. I will put as much as I can find that's actually worth a look into in the description, but for now, that's about all I have to say. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. But for now, I guess I'm out of here. Actually, there is one more thing, one more program rather, that I almost completely forgot about. I was going through my drop-down list and programs and came across this and completely forgot about it because it's been a while since I've used it. The Plant Factory, if you've ever come across Eon Software in the past, they also make what they call the Plant Factory. Now, this does offer the same concept as SpeedTree, including the dynamic simulation. As you can tell, I have a wind applied to this where it's, kind of moving here. It's not static. It's good for, in the background. Now, this is just a PLE edition. I haven't actually went through and purchased this. Honestly, between the lob work and SpeedTree, I don't really know if I will. I still have to play with this one a little bit more and basically put it up against SpeedTree, see which one gives me a little bit more functionality and ease of use and so on and so forth. But I wanted to add this into the end of the video. That way it wasn't left out, because as far as I'm concerned, this is actually a decent looking program. It looks fairly realistic. It does its job, at least from afar. When it comes to the video game world, for what you're looking at, it might work for you, it might not. I don't know. But they do have a PLE version, which is a personal learning edition. You may want to give that a look into and check that out as well.